Honestly, you guys are sitting like on a huge stack of books because I broke my tripod. Hey guys, it's Paola and welcome back to my channel. So if you've been watching me since the very beginning, then you're gonna know that one of the first, or I think it was like the second video I ever posted on my channel, it was called a Movie Mania. So the idea behind that was that every month I was gonna make a video where I talk about 15 movies that I absolutely love and that I recommend for you guys to watch. Yeah, so I'm gonna start bringing back these videos monthly. I'm gonna try to do it the first week of the month. There's gonna be all kinds of movies in these lists, so I'm really excited to bring them back. Hope you guys like this video and the idea of this video. But yeah, we're in my room for a change of scenery. I might do these videos here in my room for the Movie Mania because like if we're talking about movies, I want it to feel more like homey, and like if we're just like friends talking about movies to watch.
Before this intro gets way too long, which is already too late because I talk a lot,
let's get into the video, and this is Movie Mania number 2. Okay, so for this list, I wanted to make sure that I had very different movies. So the first movie on my list is called The Sweetest Thing. So this is a type of movie you want to watch with your girlfriends, or I just love watching chick flicks even on my own. And I remember when I saw this movie, I was like, oh my god, this is so good, like this is such a girls' night movie. So let me tell you the definition. Let me tell you what this movie is about. So it says, when it comes to dating, Christina Walters, aka Cameron Diaz, chick flick queen, has a golden rule. Avoid searching for Mr. Right and focus on Mr. Right now. That is until one night at a club when she unexpectedly meets Peter, only to see him suddenly disappear. The next day, she and her best friend Courtney decide to break the rules and go on a road trip to find him, encountering wild and hilarious misadventures along the way. So like I said, this movie is where like friends go on a crazy road trip and try to find the guy, but like so many things happen in between. There's montages, there's cute music.
Do we have time for a movie montage?
Oh, well, you know.
So the next movie on my list is called My Name is Khan. So I actually watched this movie a long time ago, but when I did, I remember me and my mom and my sister were like, oh my god, this movie was amazing. It is a long movie, it's 2 hours and 45 minutes, but I feel like this is a movie that a lot of people should be watching. It says, the story of an Indian Muslim man who suffers from Asperger's syndrome, a form of autism that impacts social interaction abilities. He is arrested mistakenly as a suspected terrorist in post 9/11 Los Angeles. So I feel like this is such a great movie to watch. It's very informational. It talks about things that were going on in that time that are very important till this day. So if you guys want to watch like those meaningful movies that you're like, wow, like this was good and a lot of people should watch it, check this movie out. So I'm actually really excited about movie number 3 because if you know me or you're my friend, you know that I love this movie and I recommend it to anyone. So this is Midnight in Paris, and it's with Owen Wilson, which I love. So it says, Gil Pender, Owen Wilson, is a screenwriter and aspiring novelist. Vacationing in Paris with his fiancée, Rachel McAdams, which I love as well, has taken to touring the city alone. On one such late-night excursion, Gil encounters a group of strange yet familiar revealers who sweep him along, apparently back in time, for a night with some of jazz aged iconic of art and literature. The more Gil spends with these cultural heroes of the past, the more dissatisfied he becomes with the present. Pretty much he meets like Scott Fitzgerald, Hemingway, and all these writers and all these people and artists from back in the day that he's like, whoa, like no one's gonna believe me, this is happening.
Scott Fitzgerald. And who are you, old sport? Gil.
The same names as
As what?
Scott Fitzgerald and
Scott and Zelda Fitzgerald, the Fitzgeralds.
You know, I'm just gonna stop raving about this movie because it's so good and you guys need to watch it. It definitely makes you want to just book a flight to Paris and go and do something crazy. Please watch Midnight in Paris. The soundtrack is amazing. So the fourth movie that I have here on my list is actually a movie that I used to watch when I was a kid all the time. So it's drama slash fantasy and it's anime, like those anime cartoon movies, and it's called Kiki's Delivery Service. In this anime feature, 13-year-old Kiki moves to a seaside town with her talking cat, Gigi. I may be saying that wrong. To spend a year alone in accordance with her village's tradition for witches in training. After learning to control her broomstick, Kiki sets up a flying courier service and soon becomes a fixture in the community. But when the insecure young witch begins questioning herself and loses her magic abilities, she must overcome her self-doubt to get her powers back. This is a really random plot. Even though this movie, I just watched it because I loved it when I was little, watching it now that I'm older, like, I understand the meaning behind it. But the anime, the characters, everything, the cat is one of my favorite characters.
Kiki, look, it's me!
And like the bread in the bakery. You guys need to watch this. So for movie number 5, I have Good Will Hunting. I did watch this movie a while back, but I remember when I saw it, I really liked it. Okay, so let me read you the description for this movie. So Will Hunting, played by Matt Damon, has a genius level IQ, but chooses to work as a janitor at MIT. When he solves a difficult graduate level math problem, his talents are discovered by Professor Gerald, who decides to help the misguided youth reach his potential. When Will is arrested for attacking a police officer, Professor Lambeau makes a deal to get leniency for him if he will get treatment from therapist Sean Maguire, played by Robin Williams. So, this is definitely a movie. I'm pretty sure this movie is like in all those lists. It's like movies you have to watch in your lifetime. It's so good. And also, Good Will Hunting is actually the movie that got both Matt Damon, Ben Affleck their first Oscars because they got Best Original Screenplay. Also, Robin Williams also got an Oscar for this movie for playing the Best Supporting Actor, which he plays the therapist. So this movie, I don't really want to go too into it because it's just a movie you have to watch to understand. It's so good. I actually want to rewatch it now that I'm talking about it, but I don't think you'll be disappointed by this if you like this kind of movie. Okay, so this movie is actually really great. I hope a lot of you guys have already seen it, but if you haven't, you definitely have to put it on your list. I think it used to be on Netflix. I'm not sure if they took it off or if it's still on there. But movie number 6 is Submarine. So Submarine is about this. Oliver is a Welsh teen who has some things on his mind. First is losing his virginity before his 16th birthday. He sets out to woo his feisty classmate Jordana. Then Oliver focuses on holding his family together. His father, a depressed marine biologist, seems unequal to the task of preventing Oliver's mother from succumbing to the dubious charms of a spiritual guru from down the road. So the description kind of doesn't really do it justice, but pretty much he's a 16 or 15-year-old boy who's going through all the teen stuff, but he's also dealing with like parent issues. It's a very funky movie. The soundtrack is awesome. There's a song on the soundtrack that I really like. It's called Stuck on the Puzzle, and it's the intro song for the film, and it's by Alex Turner, the singer for Arctic Monkeys. The cinematography and the dialogue of this movie is really good. You guys are gonna love it if this is your type of movie. Movie number 7. If you like Leonardo DiCaprio, you've probably already seen this movie. If you haven't seen this movie, then get on it. So it's called Aviator. So I remember I saw this movie. I had been meaning to watch it for a long time, and finally when I saw it, I was like, why didn't I watch this sooner? It's so good. And you guys know Leonardo DiCaprio is amazing actor, so any film he does, it's bound to be good. So Aviator is about a billionaire and aviation tycoon, Howard Hughes, aka Leonardo DiCaprio. and he is a successful public figure, a director of big-budget Hollywood films such as Hell's Angels, a passionate lover of Hollywood leading ladies Katharine Hepburn and Ava Gardner, which is Cate Blanchett and Kate Beckinsale, and an aviation pioneer who helped build TWA into a major airline. But in private, Hughes remains tormented, suffering from paralyzing phobias and depression. The higher he rises, the farther has to fall. I think they like miswrote that at the end. But this is a great example of the whole like success is not the answer. And how sometimes like people think like, oh, once you're rich and you have all these things, like you'll be so happy and all that stuff. But this is a great movie that depicts how all those things, money, success, does not bring you happiness, and sometimes it can be a bit overwhelming. I love this movie. I think you guys will really enjoy it. No, okay. When I saw this movie, I was like, how has he not gotten an Oscar yet? Obviously, I watched this movie before he won the Oscar for The Revenant, but I was just so amazed at all the papers he's done, all the roles he's played, and he still hadn't gotten an Oscar. Like Gilbert Grape, like, ugh. I can talk about Leonardo DiCaprio movies all day, but let's move on. Movie number 8 on my list is one of my favorites. It's actually 3 movies, but I don't want to talk about each one specifically just because they're all so good and so funny. So number 8 on my list is the Austin Powers movies. The first one is International Man of Mystery, the second one is The Spy Who Shagged Me, and the third one is Goldmember, which is the one where Beyonce comes out. You guys, these movies are so funny. Literally, I never get tired of watching them. So let me just read you the description to the first one so you can get an idea of what they're about. So, spoof of 1960s spy films in which cryogenically preserved secret agent Austin Powers is revived in the present day. Once synonymous with style, Powers soon realizes that his vocabulary, fashion sense, and attitude to women are hopelessly out of date. He enlists the help of decidedly modern women to help him adjust to the 1990s and vanquish his old adversary, Dr. Evil. You guys, Dr. Evil is such a great character.
Gentlemen, in exactly 5 days, we will be $100 billion richer.
He is so funny. He also did Wayne's World. If you guys do not know Wayne's World, get out of here. But yeah, I'm a huge fan of Mike Myers. Super funny. You guys will not regret. I have not heard a single person give me a bad comment about the Austin Powers movie, so I just had to add it on here. Sorry. I was just looking for the movie, the Austin Powers 3 film collection movie that I have, because I wanted to show you guys what it looks like, and I think it's so funny. But it looks like that. Cue the music. Are you convinced yet to watch it? Okay, back to the video. So movie number 9 on my list is a lot similar to the type of movie where like Submarine and those like indie films come. When I saw this movie, I was like, oh my god, like this is like, it's so good, like I can't like put it into words, like it's just a funky movie that you have to watch. So it says, an aspiring musician finds himself out of his element after he joins a pop group led by an enigmatic figure who wears a giant fake head. Yeah, and let me show you guys the fake head. You guys can see that. That's the fake head that he wears. I hope that's focused. But I don't know, I don't really know how to describe it except the fact that it's such a random, crazy movie.
Here it is. My most likable song ever. Coca-Cola, lipstick ring, go dance all night, I've got dancing legs, woo!
Add Frank to your list, it's definitely a must watch. Movie number 10 on my list is Never Been Kissed. which stars Drew Barrymore. If you guys don't love Drew Barrymore, what are you doing? She has such great, amazing movies, and this is an amazing movie to add to your chick flick list if you haven't seen it. So, Josie Geller, played by Drew Barrymore, a baby-faced junior copywriter at the Chicago Sun-Times, must pose as a student at her former high school to research contemporary teenage culture. With the help of her brother, Rob, Josie infiltrates the inner circle of the most popular clique on campus. She hits a major snag in her investigation, not to mention her own failed love life when she falls for her dreamy English teacher, Sam Coulson. You guys, and this is such like a little like girl movie because she's playing a high school. She's pretending to be a high school student, but she has a thing for her English teacher, but like it's not like it's a bad thing because she's actually older than what she's playing, but like, you know, when you're just like, oh, I just want them to like be together. That's the type of movie that this is. Like, this is obviously a movie you want to watch with your girlfriends as well. Movie number 11. Before I get started on this movie, growing up, I was and still am a huge Shia LaBeouf fan. Huge fan of his. Loved Even Stevens, had a crush on Even Stevens, I know. I loved the Transformer movies. I thought he did such a great role in them. A lot of his movies that he did, like after he got out of Disney Channel, I really liked. And this is one of them. I think this movie is very underrated, I think. It's a thriller / drama and it's called Disturbia. You guys, this movie is so good. If you want to watch like a suspenseful movie that you're just like, like run or like get out of there, like this is the movie, you guys. So it says, a troubled high school student becomes convinced he is living next door to a wanted serial killer. Struggling to come to terms with the death of his father, the teen lands himself in hot water after a fight with a teacher and is put under house arrest. During his domestic confinement, he begins to spy on his mysterious neighbor, believing him to be a murderous psychopath on the run from the authorities. So this movie has like drama, romance, because I mean it's a thriller, but there's also like a lady involved and like he's trying to figure out like what's going on. Like this is such a good movie. I really want to watch it again as well. Movie number 12, we're almost there, you guys. I know I'll talk a lot, but bear with me. Movie number 12 is actually a movie that I recently saw and it's pretty new. It was on theaters, I don't know if it still is on theaters, but it was on theaters like a few weeks ago, and it's Christopher Robin. Obviously, if you guys love Winnie the Pooh and Piglet and Tigger and all the characters in Eeyore, like, you're gonna love this movie. So it says, Christopher Robin, now a family man living in London, receives a surprise visit from his old childhood pal, Winnie the Pooh. With Christopher's help, Pooh embarked on a journey to find his friends, Tigger, Eeyore, Owl, Piglet, Rabbit, Conga, and Roo. Once reunited, the lovable bear and the gang travel to the big city to help Christopher rediscover the joy of life. And this is definitely the kind of movie that you're gonna cry to because it just reminds you that the things that make you happy are right in front of you, and when we're being on our phones, when we're focusing on other things that don't really matter, it's when we lose touch of ourselves. So this is such a great movie. If you're going through just a funk or something like that, this is a great movie to kind of like remind you of the things that matter. Movie number 13 on my list, I was actually just talking to my friend Pearl about this movie because she texted me, she's like, Paola, this movie's on Netflix now, and I was like, I know, I just saw. So the movie is called Sydney White, so kind of like Snow White because it's like the same idea. Sydney White is played by Amanda Bynes. If you guys love She's the Man, which is actually on my first list, I love Amanda Bynes movies. So if you love Amanda Bynes, you're gonna love this movie. So, college freshman Sydney White, aka Amanda Bynes, arrives at Southern Atlantic University determined to pledge her late mother's sorority. Unfortunately, she finds that the sisterhood has changed since her parents' day. Banished to a condemned house, Sydney joins forces with 7 outcasts to take over the student government and win equal rights for nerd and noted alike. So this movie is called Sydney White because it's kind of like Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs, but instead it's like Sydney White and the 7 Nerds.
Dudes, that thing has touched
boobs.
But yeah, pretty much Amanda Bynes moves in with the nerds and they create chaos, so many adventures. Obviously there's the guy interest. I don't know if it's a chick flick. I would say like, I don't know, I feel like guys will like this movie too because it's like funny. The idea of it is funny because it's like Snow White too. It's like Snow White modern age. Okay, so movie number 14 on my list is Almost Famous. So let me just tell you guys what it's about. So it's set in 1973. It chronicles the funny and often poignant coming of age of 15-year-old William, an unabashed music fan who is inspired by the seminal bands of the time. When his love of music lands him an assignment from Rolling Stone magazine to interview the up-and-coming band Stillwater, fronted by the lead guitar Russell Hammond and lead singer Jeff "Beb" William, embarks on an eye-opening journey with the band's tour despite the objections of his protective mother. So like the whole rock and roll scene is in this movie, and the outfits, the music, the style, like the mustaches, like so many things about this movie is so good. So you guys definitely need to watch this movie if you love all of that. But even then, it's such a great film in general. I want to watch it now, like all the other movies I've been talking about. You guys, the movie To All the Boys I've Loved Before, which is movie 15 on my list, it's so good. I'm pretty sure everyone has seen it by now, but it's such a good chick flick that we're all so obsessed. Okay, Lana Condor, who plays the main girl, she actually talked about how when filming the movie, like she didn't really have to like look to past crushes to kind of be inspired to play the role of having a crush on Noah, because she actually did have a crush on Noah, like the guy who plays her love interest. So I think that's so funny because you can actually tell there's genuine chemistry. Honestly, I feel like I can talk about To All the Boys I've Loved Before all day because it's such a good movie. It just gets you in the feels, you know, makes you want to make a list of your own and just like send them out. Not just kidding, that would be crazy. Let's not start drama here. Netflix original movies have been killing it. Like Netflix original everything. If you agree, give this video a thumbs up. So that is it for today's video. Hope you guys liked it, and I will be uploading these Movie Manias once a month. So maybe next month I'm gonna put some horror films in there for you guys since it's gonna be October and Halloween season. Yeah, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Comment down below movies that you recommend for me to watch. I love watching movies, so I'll watch anything you recommend. Make sure to hit the bell notification to be notified when I upload a new video. And hope you guys have been liking the content that I've been putting up lately. I'm trying really hard to just be consistent and upload new content for you guys, and also because I truly like doing this. Like even sitting here in my room talking to you guys about movies makes me so happy. As you can tell, I'm excited about every single movie that I talk about. Thank you guys so much for watching. Yeah, that's it, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.